Hello there everyone and welcome to live and uninterrupted coverage of the 2012 GPVWC Supercup round number 13, the Dutch Supercup Grand Prix from Circuit Park Zandvoort. I am Scott Woodwis and I'll be guiding you through the action along with our cameraman Dave Carl Smith, and it should be a pretty intriguing race weekend once again. We have just finished practice and we're going to go to qualify as soon as the qualifying session starts. Of course, we're seeing the fly at the moment on screen. And whilst we're waiting for qualifying to transition, let's just go through some important points. First of all, let's go through the driver standings as they are right now going into this race. And top of the table is still Peder Casa for Torrent Motorsports with 144 points. He holds a 17-point lead over second place Alex Cooper, who has won the last 4 races on the trot and is on a fantastic run. He'll be hoping to make it 5 in tonight's race. There's a big gap down to Philip Cullen. He's 57 points behind Cooper in second. Adam Rouse is fourth with 62 points. Terence Grech rounds up the top 5 with 48, but Terence is not racing. No, my apologies, he is racing tonight. He's only just 2 points ahead of Andrew Morgan in 6th. Rickard Helson, who is not racing tonight and will inform me about his replacement in a second. He's 1 point behind Morgan in 7th. Then the rest of the top 10 is Roy Scroton, who is coming back today. In fact, he's literally coming to the server and joined the server 5 minutes after he got home, which shows dedication to sim racer. Then we've got David Fiddick still in 9th place and OJ Clark rounding out the top 10. In the Constructors' Championship, or the Teams' Championship, it's still Torrent on top with 210 points, and they have a 70-point lead over CSG in second with 140. Then there's a tight battle going on for third between Halcyon and Multiforce with 86 and 84 respectively, and Hawkeye is only 5 points behind fourth place in 5th, and the rest of the top 10 in the teams is No Fear in 6th with 58, 7th is Waterblue Racing with 47, 8th is Synergetic with 31, 9th is Woods Racing with 23, and 10th is NRT Racing with 11. So, just waiting for qualifying to take place. Got a few cars up at the end of the pit lane. We have Terence Grech, Wupke Hoekstra, and also intriguingly Tom Parker, and he is one of a few drivers who is taking part and covering in this race tonight. The major name you're going to be seeing tonight is none other than Super League Championship leader Lucas Euler. Now he is standing in for Martin Schumacher, who we believe is moving house tonight. Well, moving house at the moment, I should say. So he has jumped in place of Martin Schumacher, and he is alongside championship contender Alex Cooper for tonight's race. Also, we have Tom Parker, as we mentioned. He's driving for Innovision tonight. He's looked very quick in the practice session that has just gone. I believe he's the only Innovision car on track for tonight's race. Also, we have in the second Torrent Motorsports car, I believe his second race for Torrent Motorsports is Mendaugas Klumbis, He's of course alongside championship leader Peter Castle, so he'll be doing whatever he can to take any points away from the TSG boys. Although he didn't look, with all due respect, that quick compared to his teammate, who was, I believe, second quickest behind Alex Cooper. A few more drivers, of course, coming back in. We've got Royce Groves, of course, back in the Synergetic car. He's alongside Wesley Morris tonight. And looking for some more drivers in here. I believe Rutger Hoekstra is going to come back after a little while. I haven't seen him for quite a while, I don't think. Who else have we got in here? Pavlovsky's driving for Hawkeye as well. And we also have a few more drivers in here, such as Ryan Walker, who is in for Halcyon Racing. So it's a nice varied field that we've got for tonight's event. Let's just tell you a bit more about the venue that we're at. Of course, it's round 13 of the championship, and it is the Circuit Park Zandvoort track, located in a town called Burgemeester van Alpenstraat. That's in the dunes north of the town of Zandvoort in the Netherlands, near the North Sea coastline. And Zandvoort itself, one of the beach, which is one of the few, one of the main beaches in the Netherlands, and it's a long sandy beach. So it's right over the circuit. We're going for a lap with Peter Castle, championship leader, and he's currently in the first car now. So he heads now down to the second corner, which it has a name of. I've got the map up here somewhere. Here we go. Off we go back. Good hairpin. We now start to run through this Hunseroog section, and we drop the Stolbeck corners, and up to the corner called Shaylac. Very fast right hand double apex, then through Marlborough Box, which is Marlborough Corner if you like, another very fast right hander, and then through Renault Corner, which is turn 8. Then they shoot the split up to turn 9, get the car back to the right hand side of the track for the Vodafone Corner, steady, and then down another long straight towards the Audi S, very tight right hander, leads into an opening left hander which is called Hunseroog. Hunseroog and Hunseroog on this corner, this is Hunseroog with a D. Down to the last two corners, we have Kumo Box, which is Kumo corner, which is very steady fast right hander about third gear, then a long flat right hander to come back onto the pit straight down here, the Audi that line back corner. And across the line comes Peter Castle, and he sets the car second on the grid. About 6.5 tenths behind current driver Alex Cooper, CSG Racing. Current top 10 stands then with about 16.5 minutes left in qualifying. It's currently Alex Cooper top for 117.039, and then it's a huge scrap going on for second place with Peter Castle in second for Toro Motorsports on a 117.7. Then we've got Tom Parker in third on a 117.731, and then Lucas Euler, interesting enough, he doesn't regularly drive these cars, but doing a fantastic effort in the second CFG to put it fourth at the moment on a 117.787, and then Marek Skrzydłowski in the first of the Multiforce cars, rounding out the top 5 with a 117.954. Pretty close behind as well, we have Philip Cullen in 6th for Halcyon with a 118.090. 7th, Terence Grech in the second Multiforce car. He's actually now just gone to 5th. And changing all the time, Cullen now goes to 4th with a 117.758, so there's a lot of fantastic times putting in. Skrzydłowski goes second, wonderful time from him to put in a 117.249. I did see a water blue car go off into the gravel. I think it may have been, it was Keith Camilleri, I believe, who is racing again after his brilliant performance, which could have been more in Monza. Times are changing all the time, but let's just see it as it stands right now. Castle now goes top, 116.738, so they are changing all the time. So Castle top at a 116.7, then of course again Cooper at a 116.8. Then Skrzydłowski, as we said, third at 117.2. Parker's now fourth on that 117.4. He's now improved slightly. Euler now improves again to a 117.5, and then we've got Cullen sixth on a 117.7. Grech seventh on a 117.9. Ryan Walker's now moved up to 8th on a 118.0. Ahead of Mindaugas Columbus, fantastic effort from him in the second Toro car to go 9th. Coming across the line now. And that lap time must have been bulked somewhere because it was a 137. So Mindaugas Columbus is 9th, and of course we've got Kenny Liebert on a wonderful drive in 10th at the moment so far. Wonderful effort, I should say. 118.298. And I can see a few more drivers of positions are changing all the time. We've got Cullen's gone to third on a wonderful time, 117.2. Braxton ahead of Skrzydłowski, and Terence Grech is now up to 5th. So also also watching out Alex Cooper. He's at X in the final corner. I do believe he's on a lap. See if he's gone any quicker. He rounds the arrow lines like corner. In fact, he heads straight into the pits as Peter Casa goes side by side down the pit straight with OJ Clark in the no fear car. Can't really miss that one. It's the black and luminous green being behind our current championship leader. Pavel Lenoski then jumps into 9th for the 1:10.051. Lucas Euler coming across the line, and his best that time he's put in the 1:26. So he's obviously made a mistake somewhere or been held up at some point during his lap. And he's got Alex Cooper trying to come behind him, as well as Marek Skronowski. Not of course come on. He's having a fantastic qualifying session so far. We've still got about 14 minutes of session left to go. 4th and 5th so far, and a great effort as well from Philip Carl, who was doing a fantastic job last time out in Monza. To remind you of the Monza results, if we can bring that up on my screen. And in fact it was Spa actually, not Monza. I do apologise. I just left Spa last time. Apologies for that. But Alex Cooper won that race last time out. Ron Pedicastro in second. OJ Clark was the one that did a fantastic job of putting third. Then it was Jim Freeze in fourth, replaced by Columbus in this race. 5th was Boyd Bryson, another brilliant run in the Woods racing car. 6th was Philip Cullen ahead of Terence Gregg, Martin O'Connor, Adam Rouse and Keith Camilleri rounding out the top 10 in that race. Ryan Walker's now gone 6th, on 1:17.4, so for a lot of tight times it seems to be only Casa who can crack the 1:16 barrier. Whereas there's a massive scrap going on from 3rd down to 10th. It really is only about, I'd say, 8/10 of a second in it between 3rd place Phil Cullen all the way down to Mindaugas Columbus in that second Torrent car in 10th. I think Columbus is coming onto the straight now off the pit straight to start the lap. And then he heads down towards Tarzan corner. But it's pretty much a 180-degree turn. And now down towards the Gerlach. And then to Hugenholtz, where it swings downhill a little bit and gets to kind of a valley. And as I said, that Columbus does a complete 360 and just claps the wall as well on the exit of Hugenholtz, but he keeps it going. So I think he's probably either going to abort this lap and go back to the pits and put a new set of tyres, or he's going to go ahead and grab another lap afterwards. But we'll see how that turns out. So, 11.5 minutes left in this session. Lucas Euler's back up to 4th now. He's on a 1:17.230. He's now heading back into the pits as Keith Camilleri is now coming down the pit straight. And he goes to 11th on a 1:18.229. So he's 1.4 seconds off pole. He's only about a tenth and a half off the top 10. So he needs to find a little bit extra to try and get himself in there. Top 10 as it stands then quickly. It's Casa from Cooper, and then Cullen, Euler, Skronowski's up to 5th. Parker's 6th, and Terence Gregg 7th. Walker, Lenoski's now in 9th, and Columbus rounding out the top 10. Kenny Livett has just gone to 11th, so he's stolen that place from Keith Camilleri. And Roy Scroton, the hometown favourite. Well, Roy Scroton currently hasn't set a time yet. But see where he's going. He did comment in practice that he knows this track very well. Of course, it being his home circuit, so we expect him to do well. And just to say that, must be commentator's curse. Just as he said that, lost it on the run down to Hugenholtz and then gets clouted by one of the Hawkeye cars. It may have been Lenoski, I think, that gave him a punt. Yes, it was in fact Lenoski. Lost his front wing, and Scroton now trundled back to the pits with looks like damaged suspension and also a missing rear wing. I don't think he realises there's no rear wing, this is chest, but he'll definitely feel it when he tries to turn into a high-speed corner. I think he has realised now, and he's majorly backing off now, and even so, the car still looping as he now heads up towards the Marlborough corner. He will struggle back to pits. Not exactly, and again he loops it again on the right. Morten Verneson very close to collecting him there. And there's a great battle. Look at the scrap going on. 2nd to 6th, 3rd to 6th rather. He's only separated by literally half a tenth of a second, so can go either way as Lucas Euler now heads across the line. So we can go for a lap with him. Our Supercup lead. see how he runs here. Supercup car is normally used to his like motorsports Super League car. Of course, there will be the Super League race here at Zandvoort tomorrow evening, same time, around about 7:15 we'll start the broadcasting. We'll be able to show you the likes of and Nick Rowland, of course, and Dave Coster, of course, with the after our cameras racing for green stripes and the like. Heads through Renault, Wesley Morris off to the side there in the synergetic car now, trying to follow Lloyd Bryson. Now heads down towards the Audi S corner. We've got Columbus ahead of him as he pouts over the curb. Now heads towards Kumo corner. Then the long run through Ari Lindyke. And always run very wide a little bit on the exit there of Kumo. He heads off the pit straight, and let's see if his time. The time is, across the line he goes. It's only a 1:19.0, so not a fantastic time, but of course it's not the quickest he's done so far, but still. And we'll definitely try and push harder on this lap, but change in the top 10 at all. Phil Cullen, I'll say that Phil Cullen of course is still up there, and just to say that through Kuhn at the second to last corner, he does go ahead and loop it. He's going to grab it at the moment, but he's still struggling back on the track. As Tom Parker is heading back into the pits, and he seems to be put the radiators right the way down because the car he was braking and locking the wheels. The still doing battle racing on the course in terms of between Casper and Cooper. He said 17 seconds, 17 points I'd say rather, separating them. Casper's going for another lap. Cooper is just 126, so that's see a lap where he does have a spin somewhere, he's been caught up in some traffic and he's going for another run. Also, of course, cars currently together on the grid, 6 and 7, so we're going to have to be ahead of Greg. He's just come back and hit -8 front wing. Not somewhere, and William Trinkas, I can see, practicing his starts down at the end of the pit lane. We have one time express car tonight, that is of Martin Bolgin. And Hookstra's in for Scott Bennett, who drove you to finish 11th last time out in Spa. When they just crossed the border from Belgium into the Netherlands. And the circuit here, it's a circuit that has a lot of elevation changes, a lot of on-camera corners, going to probably try and put it's may kind of unsettle the car a lot. You really have to try to focus on stability on this circuit in terms of bringing the car under control and making sure it handles the bumps. And maybe it's slightly softer suspension settings required. Of course, that means the car feels a bit more sluggish, it's as responsive as it would on somewhere, for example, like Monza or maybe Silverstone as well. Again, this is a fairly unique circuit, it's been around for quite a while. Check in, Tom Parker still holding third place, it's a good job for him. I believe this is his first race in division. This is a regular, good race in the Super League. He's got Ryan Walker chasing after him. Halcyon car. I believe that's Lucas Oil in front of him. No, that's sorry. Actually, Alex Cooper. And Cooper, who was actually chasing after Casper at that point. On track anyway. Spins out of Renault corner. Comes together and gets to Vodafone without any troubles. Parker and Walker down towards the Audi S corner. We've got just under 5 minutes to go. Top 10 again as it stands. Cooper still looking for pole position by 62 thousandths of a second from Penacasa. And Tom Parker in fourth, 8 hundredths of a second in the Cullen in fourth. That's the second row. Row 3, the Oiler and Strauss, then Greg Walker, down as Columbus in the second front car, and Pavelowski rounding out that top 10. Likes of Camilleri and Live, just need to find a couple more tenths and they can squeeze themselves into the top 10. But they currently sit 11th and 12th. Peshstov is currently not too far off. In fact, he's just been duped. Both him and Live have been duped by Boyd Bryson, who goes to 12th on a 1:18.127. Taking a decent haul to score some points last time out. But Oilers go off the track just in front of him on the exit of Hugenholtz. Who is possibly going to make a last-minute ditch for Poland? Columbus, I've just noticed, has gone to 7th on the 1:17.328. That battle for between 3rd and 9th anyway, such a tight battle. About 0.3 of a second that separates, as I said, 3rd and 9th. So those 7 cars are really in contention, and I think that it will last 3.5 minutes now. Those positions could go to pretty much anyone in those out of those 7. Wait and see. I know that Columbus is going for another lap, so maybe he can move up further. He has to find 10 at the 10th or so, when he can jump up to as high as roughly 4th, 5th on the grid, and that will help out Pedicassa no end. Track of who is where. I know that Cooper is currently heading onto the pit straight again. He's got Malosky in tow as they head out of Harry line like corner towards the line. Does he go any faster on this lap? No, he doesn't. I'll have to back. In fact, they go for another lap, excuse me. So this is actually an outlap he's on. Apologies for that. I don't have any on-screen timing. Well, I've got the monitor in front of me while spectating. And Strayowski, a wonderful effort there to go 4th for a 1:17.144. He's only a 10th on Parker's time, so he's find an extra 10th, but he won't do it running wide on the exit of Tarzan. Have to abandon that lap, and you have to be careful as well, because Terence Graff's teammate, who probably is 8th on the grid, is fast approaching. He's just at a 1:17.812, so his best time is off by some half a second on that time. The last ditch effort then, Ryan Walker 9th as he heads onto the pit straight. Where can he put the Halcyon car? 1:17.485, he's fractions off his best time, so he said it's just quite. Oh, and Wesley Morris has spun on the exit of Tarzan and is turning in the middle of the track. But Cullen now goes to 3rd. He's the only other driver apart from Pastor or Cooper who dips into the 1:16 to 1:16.8, and in front of him, Wesley Morris is doing some grass tracking through Hugenholtz. Gets it going again. I think Parker has resigned himself to 4th place. He's not going to have enough time to get round to do another lap. Cooper is now on a lap, I believe, at the moment. His last lap there was in 1:16.937, so he's still doing 1:16, but pick up the pace a bit more and find himself some clear track. This is what he has at the moment. Pedicassa, he's now going down to turn 1. He's just at a 1:17.7, but no, he's in the last corner. He's being holding for that. Here he comes then, and will he be able to improve his time at all? Watch the line he goes, and he does improve his time. 16.699, look at that, he's 0.024 of a second off of Cooper's pole time, and he has enough time to get another lap in. I think that's definitely what he's going to try and do. While Cooper is heading on to the pit straight, so he's now looks like had a really trouble-free lap and has tons of space around him. He's having push to his limit, so he goes across the line and goes better by a 10. He goes to a 1:16.591, and he retains pole position, so Catton himself is going to have to really pull something out of the bag. He seems to have some clear track as well, so I think Simon Crane's gone off at the Renault corner, and his car is rather badly damaged. Oh, and that's he doesn't want to get oversteering in the middle of Renault corner, or Vodafone corner. Still, Castle presses on down towards the Audi S. Into Hunserud. Let the run down towards Kulo. I think maybe he may go ahead and abandon that. That's a mistake he made through Vodafone. A bit of a short shift as well. An official lap at note, in fact he darts into the pits at the last minute and thinks not worth finishing the lap. And that's pretty much it. Ryan Walker's heading onto the next strip, he's pitting as well. So qualifying is now over. We have a grid, so quickly before the session starts, let's go over the top 10. Alex is going again, in fact. Alex is going for another lap time. He managed to get in before the clock was finished, so I think he's going to try and finish his lap before the line, before he crosses the line. He is going to, and let's see where this lap gets him. He goes to a 16.545, so he improved by half a tenth. The Cooper, just to prove a point, I think, to his championship rival, goes even quicker on his final attempt. And OJ Clark jumps to 7th. Wonderful effort to put him 7th on 17.2, so that came from nowhere. But I don't believe there's anyone else out there, so we'll quickly run down the top 10 then at the end of qualifying, and it is a pole position then for Alex Cooper. 116.5 ahead of Casa, 10th and a half ahead. Then we've got Philip Cullen in 3rd place, Tom Parker in 4th, Marek Skronowski in 5th for Multiforce, ahead of Ryan Walker, who managed to get up to 6th, and 7th for OJ Clark with that last effort. 8th is Lucas Euler in his first run in the Super Cup alongside Cooper and trying to aid him to take some points off of Torrent Motorsports. 9th is Mindaugas Klumbis standing in for Jim Paresis. And rounding out the top 10 is Terence Grech in the second Multiforce car. And literally, pole to 10th, the top 10 separated by 0.804 of a second. That's how close it was. And then outside the top 10, we've got Pavel Noski in 11th, Keith Camilleri just behind in 12th, and Kenny Liebherr in 13th. And then we've got Boyd Bryson 14th, Andres Pestov's 15th, the two Green Stripes cars of Morten Verneson and Chris Allen 16th and 17th. But Martin Bolgin in the Tiger Express car is 18th, ahead of Wupke Hoekstra for Kerno Sport. Royce Gross on his return is 20th, which is a bit surprising because he said he knew this track very well. But of course, having not really practiced, I believe he's been on holiday, but not practiced, he has had to just quickly chuck a setup on and get out there. 21st is Mark Wixton from Ehab Abbas in 22nd, then Dixon, Morris, Crane, and Will Tringas rounds out the 26 car grid we have for tonight's race. We usually have 30, but we've only got 26 independents for the race tonight. So what can we learn from qualifying then? Well, we know that Cooper and Casa are the men to beat tonight, but of course Cullen has definitely made his mark as well. He's definitely come on in leaps and bounds in the past few races. Tom Parker is of course in 4th, but he's saying that he got to change his, I think possibly change his setup or something going into quali. Or I think it may have been a setup he was sharing with Nosky, so it's my mistake there. So this is now the warm-up time. We're going to use it just for a few minutes until the race director decides to head off towards the race. And if anyone's not aware of the purpose of the warm-up, it's purely just essentially like an extra kind of last-minute practice session, just to get the cars dialed into race setup, race fuel loads, and so you get a feel for the car, and just also something which the drivers mainly use it for is to practice their starts, to find that bite point on the clutch and to find the optimum amount of revs before the lights go out. I practice on very strict parts of the circuit. Usually in some cases they practice it on a racing line, which is pretty dangerous, so the race directors do obviously ask them to keep the cars off the racing line, which then improves safety in terms of of course it's more convenient for the drivers who are out there genuinely practicing to try and get on race pace with race fuel loads. But Cooper then is looking extremely strong, as is of course Casa. These two of course the main championship rivals, as we said. Mentioned they're 17 points apart in the championship, and Cooper with his 4 wins on the trot so recently really has helped eat into that advantage. Of course, the more times that Casa can come in behind him in second, it reduces the damage that Cooper does in terms of the Torrent drivers' championship lead. I do believe that the qualifying effort which Parker's put in is the best for Innovision this season in Supercup. The 4th. Kurt Cullen's just wishing that he doesn't hit the championship rivals and everything will be fine for him. So there's also a last chance for drivers just to get themselves prepped if they need to go off anywhere, and as it sounds, going to have a toilet break or they need to grab some last minute refreshment before they settle down into the race. Then of course they can use this period to do that. But I think that I think Halcyon Racing are going to be a factor today. They've got their cars third and sixth, excuse me, on the grid. As Multiforce are looking pretty strong as well. They've of course got their cars in there. They've got Greg and Skronowski in the top 10. In fact, the only two cars which it's any teams or drivers which aren't teams which don't have both their cars in the top 10 are of course No Fear and Innovision. They've got one car each. Just looking at some of the race pace, Cooper's gone across the line. He set an initial benchmark lap time in warm-up of 1:18.274. So, if anyone's watching, either hypothetically or real, place your bets now because we're going to go to the warm-up session I would have thought pretty soon. And usually there's a 10-minute limit. Just watching the other two Multiforce cars almost came together. Terence Grett was on the side of the track just trying to find some space to practice his starts, and then almost got collected by his teammate Marek Skronowski. So that's number one rule in racing: don't never hit your teammate, at least on purpose. But definitely looks as though it's going to be a battle between Cooper and Castle at the front. But don't count out the likes of Halcyon, who I think you have to admit, watching the past few broadcasts, has come on in leaps and bounds with the likes of Miles Dixon with a big spin up towards Hugenholtz, and that caught Simon Crane out. And somehow Skronowski picked his way through the middle of that and came away unscathed. So, very tactical and tactical precision driving there for Skronowski, if you like. But as we said, the nature of this circuit is going to catch a lot of drivers out today. And again, as I say that, Skronowski then goes wide on the exit of Marlborough corner. And he joins in Renault and safe run back onto the track, unsafe rejoin. Simon Crane was collected him, and now Miles Dixon and Simon Crane proceeded to battle with each other in front. So also a decent time to warm up to practice your racecraft as well. So if you're following other cars to kind of practice setting them up in the overtakes and practicing what lines you'd take if you're behind another car, because of course if you're a racing fan you'll know of course running in the SER behind another car in the middle of a corner does take away front aerodynamic grip, as both Crane and Dixon they stop on the pit road to go ahead and practice their starts. Now we do have Roy Scroton who's waiting for us in interviews, so we can let me forward him in here. So right, it's been a while since we saw you in the Supercup. It's good to have you back. You're starting 20th on a circuit which you stated in practice was one that you knew rather well. Obviously I guess that's down to the fact that you've only just come back. As you said, you had about 5 minutes before you came back from I believe you've been on holiday. So but how's the car feeling, and how's it feel to be back in Supercup?
Yeah, it felt great. I'm just back home from vacation like 5 minutes before qualifying, so I didn't have much experience with the car and the setup on the track. The team has helped me a lot with the setup, but it is still hard to be fast on this track at the moment. So 20th is very disappointed, but I'm trying to go higher up in the race and make no mistakes to get further up. I don't know what my strategy is going to play out. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm just going to try.
So are you hoping for possibly trying to get yourself near the top 10? Do you think that's realistic from where you're starting? Or are you just going to just take each lap as it comes and just see where you end up at the finish?
I hope to get in the points, but my main goal is to go a bit higher and just go to the finish.
Excellent stuff. Well, best of luck then, Roy. Of course, I hope that you have a trouble-free race, and all the best for your home race. Of course, it's of course as you are Dutch, of course you're here at Zandvoort, so hopefully, hopefully we can bring you a bit of extra luck here, Roy. So, but
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to try to beat Wopper Hoekstad this time to be the best Dutchman in this track.
excellent stuff. And also the fact you said you came back out, you got straight into qualifying after 5 minutes from being home. That shows dedication to the sim races. So that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Roy, and best of luck for tonight's race.
Thank you. You good luck with this broadcast.
Thank you very much. The Royce Grossen there, Synergetic Motorsports, as we said, literally got back 5 minutes and then straight into the server here, start the race. So we're almost ready to go to warm-up, I think, about 2 to go to the race. Got about 2 minutes left of this warm-up session. And just for the record, the times as they're coming in, Tom Parker's gone top. Just trying to test out his race pace. He's gone on 117.9, and Cooper's second on the 118.0. I mean, now it's Columbus on 118.6. Heather Castle fourth on 119.0, and then we've got Matt Swanowski 119.08. Terence Breck sixth on 119.314, and we've got more times pouring in. So I'm guessing that some of these drivers will try to just make the limited tweaks to the limited parts of the car that they can adjust. Of course, there's things like brake bias, and there's only 1 or 2 kind of parameters that they can change when it goes into arc thermate. After the session then, the drivers who will just use it to get some last minute practice starts in. Cooper, for the record, has improved his time to 118.002, 13 thousandths off Parker's best time. Parker's definitely looking good in terms of race pace then. That time's a bit of 117.9 followed by 118.1 on this time round, so I'm pretty sure either he'll finish the lap. I'll park it onto the pit straight. I would have thought to practice a start. But he heads down the straight and there he goes. I think he's just exited back to the pits, I believe. I think. And warm-up is just about to end, so we'll get you prepped then, and of course then we'll run down the grid for today's Supercup Dutch Grand Prix here at Zandvoort. Of course, I want to thank our sponsors. Of course, we've got Simmink, of course, who looks after us, sponsors the both Super Cup and Super League. Of course, we also have, of course, Live Races, who looks after our live timing. Simrace.tv, we have to say thanks to as well for allowing us to broadcast. And also, of course, a thank you to SimSync Pro for allowing us to, all the drivers here, to have access to the mod. I do believe our cameraman Dave Cost with us appears to have texted things have timed out, so hopefully he'll be back in just before the start. And we will then get going in just a few moments. Parker's not even quick on his last one, I think, on 117.718, so brilliant stuff from Parker to get one more lap in. Celebrates in the chat by going, yeah, I want to warm up. Excellent stuff. And we'll move over in just a moment. But they are just delaying because, of course, that Dave Carlsmith's PC has unfortunately crashed, so we are just waiting for the waiting for him to come back into the broadcast booth so he can look after our cameras for this evening. allows me just to call the action for you and tell it as it is in terms of what's going on. And I suppose while we're waiting, I'll just quickly give a rundown of different ways you can keep track of what is going on in the world of GPVWC. Of course, you can start off by going to the website, which is www.gpvwc.com. We have a news section on the front page. The forums, you can join up to the forums if you think that you can have a go in one of these leagues, and of course you can jump in. We've got the Super League, Supercup, Formula Challenge, and of course the GPVWC Masters, which is our perennial touring car series that we run. We're going to gear up for our second round of that, and that's going to be at Silverstone. And of course, other ways you can keep track of us. There is also the Facebook page. If you search GP Grand Prix Virtual World Championship or GPVWC, and of course you can find our page and give us a like on there, and it keeps you on track with all the news that appears on our site. Also, we have our Twitter account, and I do believe DCS has now managed to get back in after his PC crashed. And we've got a Twitter account that's at GPVWC. If you want to tweet at us, then go ahead and follow, and we can give you updates on what's going on and when the broadcast is going live. And also, we've got the YouTube page. Search GPVWC, and we've got the page. Our channel is of that same name, and we usually give you full-length broadcasts of Super League and Super Cup that go up, and also Formula Challenge as well, and the Masters. About all the series that we do at the moment that go up there, so you can catch the reruns. They go up. So, just changing the grid round, and then once that's sorted, he's going to go to the next session, and then there'll be just 30 more seconds for the drivers to get prepped and on the grid, and then we'll go away and run down the grid for you as they're on their formation lap. Race director Chris Williamson just saying take it easy at the start as always, and so hopefully we don't get any chaos, any shenanigans down at the start and towards the first lap, and of course down towards turn 1. I think one of the drivers is a bit confused. I think he's possibly starting from the pit lane, but he's a bit confused as to when he starts from the pit lane, when the signal is. They're advancing in 30 seconds, so second. We'll be ready for tonight's Super Cup race, round 13 of the 2012 GPVWC Super Cup, sponsored by Simink here at Circuit Park Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix. We're just waiting now, anticipating for the action to get on. It will be interesting to see how Tom Parker gets on. He was quickest in that warm-up session by about just over a quarter of a second. And we have Armour going through the races for 45 laps. And drivers then start to get themselves onto the grid. Now or never, this is the time for them to make sure they have their setup on, it's all correct, and then we can get this race underway then. And hello to everyone who is tuning on the broadcast, hello to everyone who is watching. And last few drivers are going to have to really get a shift on, and Cooper's now put himself on pole. And let's go through the grid then for round number 13, as we said, of the Super Cup. Let's go from the top. So on pole position then is Alex Cooper for CSG Racing. Alongside him is Peter Cass for Toro Motorsports. In third is Philip Cullen for Halcyon Racing, and alongside him is Tom Parker with Innovation's best qualifying result of the season in fourth. Fifth is the highest multi-force car of Marek Skronowski. Sixth, it's Ryan Walker, brilliant result for him for Halcyon. Seventh place was OJ Clark for No Fear, who was on the podium last time out at Spa. 8th is Lucas Euler and his first ever Supercup race and current Super League Championship leader. We have then Mindaugas Columbus, who is 9th in the second Torrent Motorsports car, and rounding out the top 10 is Terence Breck in the second Multiforce machine. 11th is Pavel Lowski for Hawkeye Racing. Alongside him will be Keith Camilleri, who impressed out in Spa last time. He starts 12th. 13th is supposed to be Kenny Lyon, and it looks like he's going to be starting with the pit lane. 14th is Boyd Bryson for Woods Racing. And 15th is Andres Hestovs for PB Racing. NRT Racing, sorry. And 16th and 17th. And Live is actually starting for pits for a setup change, which has been told by the race director. So thank you for that. Looking back, 16th and 17th, Morton Bernison and Chris Allen, the 2 green stripes cars ahead of Martin Golden, and 18th for Tiger Express. 19th is the first of the Kono Sport cars with Rutger Hoekstra, and he's alongside it. It's an all-Dutch 10th row. It's called Hoekstra 19th, Forrest Grossen 20th. Botwick's 21st in the second of the Kono Sport cars, alongside Amir Babas in the second Woods machine. They're rounding out the back of the grid, and it's Miles Dixon 23rd in the second Ophir machine. 24th Wesley Morris for excuse me about that. 25th Simon Crane for Waterloo Racing, and rounding out the back of the field it's going to be William Trengas in the second PB Racing machine. There's your 26 on grid. Alex Cooper then brings the field onto the pit straight and onto the grid then, and he is now doing his best to stack the pack. Last minute weaving going on. Get the last few burnouts out to get that last minute heat into the tyres, and so it's going to be crucial then. The 2 championship rivals on the front row together, and who's going to get the best launch off the grid? Is it going to be Cooper then on the inside of the track, on the dirty part of the circuit? It's going to be Kasser, who's on the racing line. Watch out for the likes of Parker and Cullen, of course, behind on the second row. And what can Multiforce do from here as well, from 5th and 10th on the grid? What roles can Euler and Columbus play to support their teammates? The last few cars are going to be getting themselves into position on the grid, and as we said, we're set for 45 laps of racing action. And we'll wait for those lights to go. The lights are now up, and we're going to get racing. Who's going to get the better start off the line here at Zandvoort? We're away here for the Dutch Grand Prix. Decent start by Cooper, and already we've got Miles Dixon into the wall. He's whispering off the line, and look, it's been out up the inside of both Cullen and also it's been out of Kasser. He's still side by side with Cullen, but it's Cooper then who leads out the first one from Kasser, and it looks like the Spinazzi has moved up to 4th place, Harkins down to 5th, and also seeing that Walker's now battling with OJ Clark behind in 6th place, and look at that one, that's alongside Columbus now for 8th place now, to go up out of Hugen Holt and up this section for the first time, and Cooper trying straight away the top 2. We're starting to pull advantage already for about 1.6 seconds collectively. And Cullen then is under immense pressure. He's already got a 4-car train behind him as Parker now starts to the inside, and he's now up the inside of Fredo, and he's inside Spanowski, and he's going to try and stick it around the outside now to Vodafone, and he's not close, he's not far enough alongside. And also the Clark back to go as well, as does now Scott and Columbus. Oh, and that's the racing car on the back, so that's Boyd Bryson as well, from I think 10th to 11th place, he's down to almost the back of the field. Probably 20th, but now Bolton's gone past him, so is Gringas. And also got a car behind him, that's one of the spun round. And Simon Crane's him as well. And also Mindaugas Columbus has spun as well. So the 2 teammates of the 2 championship rivals got themselves into a bit of a pickle. But at the front it is still Cooper then leading with a 1.2 second advantage from Kasser in second. Then Cullen in third, Spanowski and Parker running 4th and 5th. Then Clark, Walker, Grossen and Camilleri, and also got contact between Hoekstra and Terence Brecker at turn 1 at Tarzan. So it's all kicking off then in the first lap already. And Hoekstra then without a rear wing, he's going to have to struggle back to the pits. I think he may also have suspension damage as well. And let's see what's happening here then. Back over the front, we've got a battle going on. Close to that with what on track I can see is going on to the 9th place between Camilleri and Alowski as they go through up towards the Marlborough corner. I think we see the position change. Clark and Spanowski quickly have switched places up in 5th. And now Spanowski's under attack from Ryan Walker in 7th. So the 2 Halcyon cars got a wonderful start. They're up there in the top 10, and Clark is 3rd, and Walker trying to make advances up to the field already. And we've got now battles going on for 12 places between Greg and Pestov's down towards the Audi S corner, and Pestov's down the inside. Not a very opportunistic move. He's up to 12 now. And look at Mark Dixon on the outside. Terence Greg, that's a fantastic piece of driving and a classy setup and a wonderful overtake through there. Oh, there's big contact. That's Eva Bass and Terence Greg. And Terence Greg is on his roof. Eva Bass has spun, he's kept out of the gravel. And that looks to be game over for Greg, and his car has been turned over again. In fact, he's got going again there. But wow, what a collision that was. Looks like, I think only caught it in the background, but looks like a Bass got turned around, or at least he clipped Greg's rear wheel, and that sent him over. And Greg, rightly so, is heading into the pit to get that damage checked over. Hoekstra still struggling around without. Oh, Hoekstra's now spun at the last corner. Oiler's now recovering back in 23rd. Boyd Bryson still down around 24th, and Simon Crane back in 25th. Mark Wixler's just pitted as well. But Cooper then now has extended his gap now even further to now for 2.6 seconds. So it seems to be at the moment that Casa on outright pace can't live with Cooper. And in fact, Cullen is now starting to reel the Norwegian driver in, and Cullen and Parker's going with him. And his Clark, Skronowski and Walker. And there's a gap back to Roy Scroton. Wonderful start from Roy Scroton. He's up to 8th place from 20 on the grid. So whilst Hoekstra's race goes wrong for one Dutchman, it's going right for the other. He's in the top 10 and we said to him he'd be trying to do the best he could. Well, he's doing a fantastic job so far in 8th place. What a wonderful start to pick his way through the carnage on the first couple of laps. And now the battle for ninth going on as Camilleri now trying to send him a pass. Olonowski darts to the inside line when he's outbreaking into Tarzan. And still gets him going up the inside, but he wasn't far enough alongside. Camilleri gets a little bit of wheel. Olonowski holds on. Oh, big twitch then, put the rears up on the Hawkeye kart. As they are head on this really undulating and twisty middle section. The end of the first sector. And the gap amazingly has gone up 4.2 seconds now between Cooper and Casa. And Cullen is now almost all over the back of him. But is it now a case that Casa's now starting to form a frame behind him? Chris Allen takes to the first car that has retired from the race. We're down to 25 cars now in the field. And Casa then is close to get by about 10th of a second in that sector alone, but he's not back now. Terence Greg is struggling around. He hasn't, for some reason, the wings haven't been fitted, and he's got himself beached in the gravel up at the Kumo corner, and Hoekstra is also out of the race as well. And OJ Clark's car is smoking. Now, did he forget to change the radiators? Because that car is smoking heavily, and looks like it's overheating, and I think the engine may expire pretty soon if he doesn't do anything about that. Currently 5th, but it looks like it may be an early premature race for him. And quickly just up ahead, Parker is now hounding the back of Cullen's Halcyon racing machine as they head out of Hugenholt. And then file through the Hunterum and Stollermaker corners. Through Chevlac, out through Marlborough and Renault corners. And Parker sees the opportunity down the inside. He has a look, wasn't quite close enough. And Boyd Bryson seems to have spun somewhere. Not seems going from what was bad to worse. And the gap to the front now back to 4.7 seconds. Bryson almost getting in the way of 7th place Ryan Walker. But still, there's side-by-side action. Then Cullen's gone across the gravel. Up at the Audi S corner. And looks like it was Parker tried an over opportunistic move, and that's now allowed Parker to go around the outside, and they're wheel banging through Kumo corner. Now they're going to go side by side through Ari Limelight corner, and who's going to get the better run? Well, Clark would have got better speed, now top of approaching Cullen in front of him, and he takes 4th place from Tom Parker. Parker then trying to get back up the inside and goes, looking tight to Ryan, now loses it. Car must have bottomed out. Oh, that was close, almost to get Ryan Walker. So he rejoices 7th, and Royce Gross is spun over turn 1 as well. Grossen are down to 11th place as Andres Pestovs goes through. So turn 1 then, Tarzan seems to be the corner that's catching people out. And the gap's now 5.5 seconds between Cooper and Casa. And Cullen holds on at 3rd place then. With Clark all clambering all over the rear wing of that car, but still, the no fear machine is smoking at the moment through for the past couple of laps, and Askren has fancies to go as well. He's having a brilliant run at the moment in 6th. Ryan Walker's, in fact, no, it's 5th place actually. No, it's 3rd place for Cullen, 4th for OJ Clark and 5th for Skronowski. Because that Park is down to 7th. And he's now holding station ahead of the lap boys. Bryson himself is actually, looks like he's a complete lap down. And Cass has gone very wide. He's gone wide on the exit of Kumo corner. And that's again going to allow Clark to close in, but Cullen's now under attack from the flying OJ Clark. He's out in the tow, down towards Tarzan. And Clark sends it up the inside, and a clean pass then, up to 3rd place. So Clark is the man on the move then for Novia Racing, but you have to admit that his team will definitely be concerned by the smoke coming from the back of that car. So he's definitely needs to get overheated the car, but I think it's starting to sort itself out now. In fact, as I said, there it goes. Casa now, in fact Clark is rapidly closing in on Casa, so I think Clark has the fastest car out there, bar Alex Cooper, because he really is doing a fantastic effort here for Novia Racing and taking a fight to the champion leader. The gap between these 4 then, back to Walker in 6th. Spread out a bit more then until actually really spread out, but behind there, there's no only battles we can see going on. Literally is the battle going on between 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. That's the closest battle on track. Everyone else has started to spread out. And still Clark's car is smoking as they come through Kumo corner. Through Arilandite corner they go then. Casa, Clark, Cullen and Skronowski. And Clark then is close enough to get into the toe of Casa, but he's not close enough to pull alongside and think about making a move for 2nd place. But the closer he can stay, the more pressure that Castle will be under. He'll try and force another mistake like he made a couple of laps ago on the exit Kumo corner. Castle locked his inside wheel through Hugenholtz. Now up towards Hunserug. And Stolamaker bot. Now through Dalak. Now it's the very fast right-hander of Marlborough, and then through Renault again. I like to turn 4 right corners in succession, then a left here at Vodafone. And Clark is really harrying the back of the Norwegian's Torrent Motorsport machine. As Cooper now has the lead up to 7.7 seconds, absolutely flying for CSG, and this will no doubt take even more points away from Casa, but of course if he stays 2nd, and he will of course only reduce the gap by another 3 points. That means that the gap will be down to 14. And Clark then, once again trying to get into the slipstream, down the pit straight as they start lap 9. And Casa takes a slightly tighter line through Tarzan. But Clark just tagging on through Geract and now through Hugenholtz. Traffic really is now has Clark right on his gearbox. And look at this, they're going to go up through Solamaker and now through Shivak, and Clark I thought he was going to brave it around the outside, but no, he's done the switchback. He's going to go up towards Marlborough corner, and again he's not close enough alongside, but he is doing a fantastic job of harrying the championship leader, and Cullen is going with him. As Skronowski back in 5th is now falling into the clutches of Ryan Walker. And it seems to be then that Casa has no response, or no evident response to Cooper's dominance at the moment. Here on lap 9, so we're cut as Cooper crosses the line with completed 1/5 race distance. Again you can see that it's like Clark took a later apex through the last corner. Wes Morris just came, it looks like he had some damage somewhere, and he's come back out right in front of this battle for 2nd place, and that can possibly play into Clark's hand. Beautifully moves down to the way. Supercup cars always very difficult to handle on a circuit of this nature here at Zandvoort. Doesn't make them any easier. Stolamaker, and now through Black. Again, Clark seems to have that better grip through these fast corners. As he now, again, sets about attacking the Torrent Motorsport driver. They go through Vodafone corner. And then they'll head down towards the Audi S. Immediately after that, they'll meet Hunserud. There they go. It's been the most intriguing battle on track at the moment. Looking back to see if there's anything else going on back in the lower rungs of the top 10. It's fairly close at the moment between, I can see 9th and 10th between Camilleri and Pestos. Keep an eye on that, but at the moment, Castor seems to have a slight, seems to just about keep Clark at bay and have just enough of a response. But in terms of trying to catch Cooper in front, he has nothing. And, oh, this is interesting, look at that. Back in 6th. Ryan Walker is now being closed on rapidly by the resurgent Tom Parker. Remember, he spun after up at turn 1 a few laps ago. Now he's starting his comeback drive. He's starting with Ryan Walker. Rishi Black. There you go. Wonderful names here. Marlborough corner. Oh, and Cullen spun. Phil Cullen spun there for what was 4th place. And I'll get that on the replay quickly. I'll have a look at it myself. Let me fast forward my replay. In fact, his engine's completely gone. So Phil Cullen, what a shame, out of the race with engine failure. Let's have a look. Let's see where it failed then. Also just went bang. Looks like he downshifted. I think he downshifted a bit too fast going through Marlborough corner, and the engine just went and the car just locked up. And he's out of the race. That now promotes Skanowski up to 4th, Walker up to, that moves everyone up a place, and Walker's now up to 5th, but this battle going for 2nd is still raging on between Castor and Clark. And Scroson's back in top 10 now. And Clark as close as he's ever been now out of Hugenholtz. And he gets the better run. Now he's got the opportunity to get 2nd place now from Castor, and they're going to go through Hunserud, and he's got it. A fantastic piece of driving from OJ Clark to grab 2nd place, and now he can fill Castor's vision with full of engine smoke, as that car is still smoking on the limit of its temperature, threshold of what it can take. It doesn't look like a lap for few cars. They've got, looks like extra. Oh, Glenn Springer just spun up at in front of the Vodafone corner. Also, all that chaos up there, that's kind of confusing. Now let's try to get at the inside of Park. Up to 6th place. Up to 5th and 6th they're battling over. Parker made a slight contact. He hasn't put himself in too much danger. Now then. So Clark is now holding on to 2nd place. Castor now just trying to go with him and trying to move with him down the pit straight to keep the tow. But behind, Parker now has another look up the inside towards Tarzan for 5th. And will he get the traction down on the exit of Tarzan? The answer is not quite. Through Gerlach. Now through Hugenholtz. Look at the run that Parker got. Parker got a wonderful run through Hugenholtz. They're going to go side by side through Hunserud, but no. Walker is wise to that. Now through Solommaker. Now through Sheblack. Parker, with his Innovision, the nose of that Innovision car literally glued to the rear diffuser of Parker's Halcyon car, coming up to lap mark Wicks. Now, I wonder if Wicks will be obliging enough to get out of the way quick enough. I'm pretty sure he will. Let's have a look then. Look back now from Ryan Walker's car then, looking back at the white and blue machine of Tom Parker. They head through Kumo corner now from Harry Lindike and on the pit straight. It's a fantastic run that Parker then has down the pit straight, getting closer and closer. He now darts the inside, but again he might have darted that a bit too quickly. Look at the tighter line he takes from Tarzan. That allows him to get run through there, allows him to get off the pack a little bit quicker. And it'll try to switch back again through Hugenholt, but it won't work this time round. This is perhaps the first battle on track, so that is also relatively close to the battle 7 between Cavalieri and Peshkov. Also, I think about the pit window and when drivers will start making their pit stops. And back up to the battle for 5th place. Walker's gone wide, Parker's got his nose up the inside through Renault corner. Now they're going to go side by side through Vodafone. And Parker has to try and resort to switch back through Vodafone. And what a switch that may have been because he got the better traction out of Vodafone. And down, yes, Parker will go around the outside. There's contact again. And contact once, contact twice. But still, Walker holds on. Ryan Walker proving a very formidable foe for Parker in this race so far, and Parker's on quite wide on the exit of Pumo corner and almost loses the back end. He's lost a few car lengths, but he holds on to 6th place for the moment. We're on to lap 15 now of 45 here at Zandvoort, and this is the running order of the top 10 so far as we look at it. Alex Trooper dominating again, looking for his 5th win in a row here. 11.3 second gap over O.J. Clark, with his car still smoking at the moment. Pescata holds on as third, he's not championship leader. Then Maric Gronowski, who is holding on to, just about holding on to Catherine 4th. That was 5th going on with Walker and Parker, still raging on. And now Parker will again try it again up towards Marlborough corner, but he's not quite close enough. We'll leave it for a second as we run down the rest of the top 10. Walker 5th then from Parker, Camilleri 7th. Under pressure now from both Pestovs and Lanowski. And Scrotus, that could be a fantastic scrap. The battle for 7th between these 4. Oh, and Scrotus gives Lanowski a bit of a nudge under braking for Renault. And continuously puts him under pressure. Pretty back to the battle for 5th then. And Walker then now has, I think, Parker at this point closer than he's been in the previous few laps. A clean run through the last corner through Tumo. Now wants the pit straight, and just how close can Parker get this time? I think he's closer than he has been before, but here they come, and this is going to be 5th place if Parker can pull it off and get alongside fast enough. The answer to that is no. And again he tries again as Lanowski's gone up to... Oh! There's been some contact at the last corner, and that's between Pestovs and I think either Scroton or Lanowski, because Scroton's gone to 8th place, and it's past Lanowski up at 1, but Tarzan. Now Scroton and Lanowski in 8th and 9th. So that looked to me, I think that Pestovs then either lost the back end of the car or he got electrified by someone. Maybe one of our race directors or our cameraman can film it and know exactly what happened if he's on a replay. Pestovs is in the pits and getting that rear wing replaced. Whether or not there's any further damage to the suspension, we'll have to wait and see, and if it is, they'll probably be spending it repairing it in the pits here. Back up to the battle for 5th place. Walker still holding on. Still Halcyon versus Innovision. The 5th place onto the pit straight once again. Walker is looking in his mirrors and you can still see it full of white and blue. Across the stripe they go to start lap 17. Again, Parker with that tighter line through Tarzan. He used to kind of the slightly banked nature of that to get a better run. And they gave him a try this time up the inside of Hugenholt. He's got a better run this time, he's made it stick. And Ryan Walker then loses 5th place to Tom Parker. Well, I don't think so let it go that easy. And they're almost going side by side with Walker, that he's determined to get that place back. Only one of the Halcyon racing cars left off. Philip Cullum blew his engine after what looked like downshifting too quickly through Marlborough corner as Walker locks up. Or rather, Walker watches Parker lock him in front of him. And now, the roles are reversed. Parker now taking the wider lines to get the starter exit. And all the shenanigans behind have now allowed Miles Dixon. In fact, Russ Scroton has dropped to 11th. He's obviously had some contact somewhere, possibly with Lanowski whilst they were battling. But Miles Dixon now is under pressure from the in 9th place. The second Torrent Motorsport car of Mindaugas Columbus. Things with his once or twice for this year, standing in for both Jim Priest and Richard Helston. Dixon doing well now, making both of the their cars in the top 10. Cars driver such as Lucas Euler, who's of course our Super League winner, in 15th at the moment. And fairly clear track in front of him, but he is trying to close in on 45th. Kenny Leiber, who spins up at, in fact he's lost his rear wing it looks like, so he obviously had some contact somewhere, and that now is an easy 14th place then for Lucas Euler, who has just been lapped by his teammate and race leader Alex Cooper. And that advantage is now 12.7 seconds up at the front. While behind them, Clark, with his ever-smoking No Fear machine, has now pulled a 1.6 second gap over Kassa. He now has to deal with Marek Skronowski behind him for multi-force. Simon Crane in the Water Blue racing car moves out of the way. Skronowski's on it now. Look at this, really closing on Kassa this time. And he may just have a bit of a toe there. I think he's going to try and attack the third place in either this lap or the next. Definitely thinking about it. The opportunity, I'm sure, will present itself, and Kassa prefers to take the higher line through Tarzan. Now to Galat. And Hugenholz. Now he's trying to get that switch back, but Kassa's wide to it and holds the inside line. Now to Kunterud. Maker. And Kassa now has to deal with not this time OJ Clark. He's having to watch, drive away from him. He now has to deal with a very feisty Marek Skronowski here. That's the only multiple car left in the top 10. Demet's Breck is back down in 22nd and 3 laps down. Skronowski has a great run now, down towards the Audi S corner. Will he get his nose up the inside? No, he doesn't. Skronowski wasn't far enough alongside. He didn't want to risk making a huge lunge into the Audi S corner. This time Skronowski went very, very deep into Kumo corner. Lost him a few car lengths. He's going to try and get himself back up there in 4th place. And just behind, still about a line to go between Columbus and Dixon. Dixon holding off the Torrent driver. Of course, any points that Columbus can earn himself, and of course what he will earn for the team, and the more points he can grab for Torrent, the better. Like Tesco says, every little helps. And Columbus now with a great run down the pit straight down towards Tarzan. He got the toe. He's up the inside, and Columbus then takes a brilliant move. Right place. Dixon tried to fight back and give the reversal. Again, couldn't get the power down soon enough, and he is off and away. Columbus then trying to escape from Dixon's cat. But extend his advantage. Quickly going back to the other side of car Kassa. We now have Skronowski on his rear end once again. There they go. Now then, we're going to think about now when the front runners are going to start to make their pit stops. We are coming up to halfway distance then. On lap 21 of this Supercup Dutch Grand Prix. Coming up to half distance, here is the top 10 as it stands, and Cooper now has a 13.1 second gap at the front. From second place OJ Clark, who's doing another wonderful performance. In third is Peter Kassa, but he's having to keep his wits about him as he tries to hold off the ever-present Marek Skronowski. He may try to take a look up his inside. A few moments, I think, Skronowski getting a very close once again. Tom Parker is trying to come back at these two. Fifth, and he's taking a decent pace. He's about 5 or 6 seconds off these two. Keith Cavallari is 7th, chasing off Lowski in 6th. Zagas Columbus is now 8th. And Ryan Walker, I think, has just gone ahead and spun somewhere because Walker is down to 10. But that puts Columbus up to 8th and Dixon up to 9th. And back in the battle for third place with Ganowski still can't find the speed he needs down the straight, even in the snow. Move up into a podium place. Cassidy again taking that slightly wider line, and William Springer has retired along with Wesley Morris a few laps back as well. So we've lost 4 cars. Skrynowski seen here with a massive charge here. He almost made contact with Cassidy. He may have nudged him slightly through Solomacre. But you can see just how Skrynowski's coming in leaps and bounds here. His first race was back in Monaco. Then he really has improved as a driver. He has improved the racing he's done in Formula Challenge. And he's now showing what he's worth here by giving his all against Penacasa. Tom Parker's made a pit stop. He's down back to 7th. And Clark is out. OJ Clark is out of the race. Now let's have a look and see what's happened here. I need to fast forward to a replay and see what's happened. What has taken place? Had his engine expired, I wonder? We'll have a look here. Was it a run through the last corner that caused it? Either that or it was a disconnection, because I can't see any contact. Look, he came off the pit straight and the car seemed to have lagged out. So unfortunately, what could have been a fantastic result there for OJ Clark has ended up in a rather premature race for him. This wonderful scrap going on for second now between Cassidy and Skrynowski. It's now in scrap for both will be on the podium if they stay where they are. The question is, who's going to be where? Who's going to be higher up on the podium? Who's going to be taking the highest step? We've got Cooper now getting on the bottom corner and darting to the pits. Not yet. See exactly when he tries to hit him for his 5 stop. He's following a suit. It's all Cassidy and Skrynowski. As Skrynowski goes very wide, he has to really back out of that. He almost lost his rear wing on the back of Cassidy's car. Cassidy is lifted up slightly to back Skrynowski into him. I'm not sure why he wants to do that. Either that or just misjudge rather than Cassidy got through the final corner. Now I can see already that Tom Parker's back up to 6th place. I can see we've got Pavlonovsky in the pits from 5th. And he will exit the pits rather soon, and he exits. Ooh, that's a risky exit. He exits the pits just before Bryson was coming down pit lane, almost made a collision. And he's going to go side by side with Lonowski, and Walker goes. Sorry, Lonowski goes side by side with Walker, I should say. And the Scot goes around the outside of turn 1, and he snatches 7th. So now up to 6th place now. He's been Douglas Columbus. He's having a fantastic run in the second Toronto Motorsport car to get up as far as he has. And Cooper is in. Our leader is in from Alex Cooper is in from 1st place. And this will now mean that for the moment, Penacasa will take the lead unless he decides to dart in on this occasion. And answer to that is no, he carries on, as does Skrynowski. And Cooper has now left the pits, but it's not quick enough. The gapping out was good, but it wasn't good enough. Ooh, well, that was close. He almost took out Skrynowski into turn 1. So Cooper then rejoins, and that is a perfect position to come back out in. He's there in 3rd place, and he's right behind the battle effectively net 2nd place, which means that he will easily resume the lead when these two try to pit. But Cassidy is known, we've seen him do this quite a few times this season, he is known for staying out for quite a long time before pitting. And on a few occasions we have thought that he was going to try a no-stop strategy, which basically he's going to fuel the car up until the end of the race, because these cars can be fueled up at the end of the race. They have the capacity in the fuel tank, and then run on one set of tyres until the end of the race. Of course, therefore not stopping at all. Casa is a little bit up into the IBS corner. And of course, Cooper just watching and waiting for these two to make their moves. And the mistake that Skronowski made cost him a little bit dearly, as he has lost a few seconds after Casa. Cooper carries on. Skronowski keeps to the right hand side of the track, and he now enters the pits for second. Cooper goes through, takes his place. And next up is Keith Camilleri in fourth place, who I don't believe has stopped yet. And looking at the gap, he's only about 6 seconds ahead of Parker, so this will now, I would have thought, will easily give Parker in fourth place. And Camilleri, he carries on for the moment. He's coming up from his teammate Simon Crane. And Crane himself is back down in 17th. And the first of the cars that are 2 laps down. Meanwhile, we've got Columbus carries on in 6th, while Walker is still going in 7th, ahead of Pavlovsky in 8th, who's now been closed on by Roy Scroton. And Miles Dixon running up top 10. He's now under pressure from Morton Bernison. And Euler, of course, is a lap down. His teammate is now the pit stop is starting to take place. Euler's starting to shake up a little bit. Now we've got Pedicata coming up to the last couple of corners. And what move will he make? He heads through Kumo. Now to the Ari Lyndike corner. Does he stay to the right? No, he carries on, so he's not pitting just yet. He looks like he's doing the same thing he has done a few times. He's staying out for as long as possible. And now it's about going for third between Skronowski and Camilleri. Camilleri, I don't believe, is pitted yet. And Skronowski's back up to third now. And Camilleri does not want to let it go that easy. Goes tiny bit wide, but as a result gets a fantastic, a super little exit off of Ari Lyndike corner, and he's got the straight line speed. It looks like they're going to go side by side across the line, and Skronowski then loses out again to Camilleri, or has he, because Skronowski uses a superior grip on his fresher tyres to stick it around the outside of Camilleri, and he holds on to the third place he is retained. And Parker is now up to 5th place. Who's Stagger's Columbus is in. Also, so are Bernson and Dixon. And they're in together. This is the position 10th and 11th. So these two are pitting, and they hit their jacks literally at exactly the same time. So who's going to get out quickest? We're going to see which crew can pull off a quicker pit stop. And it is Green Stripes who gets out just ahead of Mobit. But once again, Casa carries on and doesn't pit yet. I wonder if Camilleri's pitted at all so far in 4th. He hasn't, and he's quite far up, and he's put in a fantastic showing in the past few races. I think he's driven for Waterloo. The final couple of corners. And what move will Camilleri make? Carries on for the moment, so he's confident in how his car feels. And as I said, Parker's trying to close in 5th, but his car is smoking heavily here. Now, has he possibly overheated himself, or is that just the car trying to settle down again after his pit stop, which is actually a few laps ago? So Parker will definitely want to be keeping an eye on the temperature gauge in the Innovision car. While Walker's up to 6th, Square is now up to 7th, lost 8th. Columbus is now 9th, and Morton Bernison still in 10th and just been lapped by current race leader Pedicata. We head towards 2/3 distance here in the Super Cup, and it's kind of like pit watch. So when drivers are going to come in, but Petter watch if you like. Petter watch or Casa watch. Casa then stays out for another lap. Still ahead of Alex Cooper, who on his fresher tyres is slowly starting to close in on the Norwegian. Gap's now 4.8 seconds. And then there's a further 24-second gap back to Skronowski in 3rd. What about Camilleri? And Dix to the right, and he now heads in on the end of lap 28. So this is one of those, and Camilleri pits from 4th. That gives Parker the position. This will now give it also, it looks like Walker will then take over from 5th. And depending on how quick the stop is, maybe 6th will go to Roy Scroton. We'll have a look and we'll wait and see. Camilleri is just leaving the pits now. He's right at the end of the pit lane. Walker's gone through. What about Scroton? Yes, he has. So Camilleri rejoins in 7th. We've got classes to Parker, Walker and Scroton. Keeping an eye now on Cass, who's now been on that same set of tyres for 28 laps now. And at the end of lap 29, and does he finally pit? No, he doesn't. He carries on. So he's trying to extend the gap as best as he can, but I think he's finding that if in fact Cooper is starting to close in bit by bit, which in fact he is, the gaps are down to 4.6 to 4.5 in that sector alone. The strategy really isn't really working all that well, because he's not really making the progress up front that he really wanted to. It seems to be that Cooper has the edge so far. This is going to be intriguing. We've got now just about coming up to a third of the race left to go. Can Tom Parker get himself back onto the podium? And we qualified back in third or fourth anyway. A bit of a spin early on. What can he salvage? Can he close in quick enough? Gap's now 3.5 seconds, so he's not too far away from Multiforce car ahead. Gaps are starting to spread out a bit more. Not too many battles going on. We'll have the pit stops ready and who pits when. And Casa then. Now, could this be an occasion where he decided to zero stop? I wonder. He's now completed 2/3 race distance. And Cooper is still closing in. At this rate, he will catch him by the end of the race. So, whichever strategy Cat is running, either a zero stop strategy or a really late pit stop, either way it's not going to work because Cooper still has that pace off the fresher tyres to maintain kind of the ebbing away of Cat's lead. It's now down to 4 seconds exactly. And behind them, one of the closer battles it looks like I'm trying to look at is closest battle on track in terms of gaps is about the 7th. It's the loss of the 7th, Camilleri, who has pitted in 8th. Now 2/3 of the way through that. Let's give you a quick rundown of the top 10 as it stands then here at round 13 of the 2012 Sim Inc. GPVWC Supercup here at Circuit Park Zandvoort, the Dutch Supercup Grand Prix. And Peter Katter leads for the moment in the Torrent Motorsport, the current championship leader, by at the moment 4.1 seconds on my screen from Alex Cooper, who took pole position and led most of this race. And Katter, we're not quite sure what his strategy is, but he's definitely trying to pull away as best he can. And Columbus is out of the race. Mindaugas Columbus is out of the race, and you can see exactly what has caused that one. Let's have a look here. Because Columbus was in 9th place. It seems to be for whatever reason he's out of the race. So, and we also do have it. We have OJ Clark waiting in the booth. Assuming we have a quick word with him. I can in here. We've got OJ Clark here. OJ Clark back in the time from the race. He's looking on course for a 2nd place. What happened if you like? Was there a problem here?
I think I must have left I don't know, that's the weirdest thing that happened to me in sim racing, because I was actually listening to the broadcast at the time and I heard OJ Clark's out of the race. And then I was driving for a few laps. I had my laptop next to me and someone was talking to me on the set, so my connection was fine. So I don't know what happened, maybe something to the server.
Rather unfortunate. Your pace looked really good today, OJ. You had a couple of stalling pieces of overtaking to get you up to 2nd place. I think that had that not happened, it's possible to take you to maybe catch. I think what you think that possibly 2nd was maybe the maximum you could have got today, depending on Alex's pace at the moment.
Well, also depending on whether the stars on the one stop pressing it. I mean, I was trying to pull away from him as much as possible without damaging the engine much because the focus for the race was working quite badly and I can see it, so I had to reload that focus. I was just thinking hard, I know it's hard hard enough really, and it's strange because it's always a races you don't expect to do like that, but you do like that. I mean, qualifying was the first time I actually ran on the circuit, so yeah, I'm very surprised with the pace overall. That's encouraging, I guess.
That's hard luck. You've still got your other driver, Miles Dixon, going on in 10th place. Are you hopeful that he can still secure a few points for No Fear this afternoon or this evening?
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, we've had the situation of David Fidot. He was scoring a lot of points for us earlier in the season, but he had to pull out due to personal issues. Yeah, we've had quite a few drivers having to pull out for that, and yourself, of course. So yeah, I've had to step in a few times, but yeah, hopefully he can bring the point home to get to the team.
But it's true, I did do a couple of races at the beginning of the season for Supercup, but I realised due to personal stuff and the fact that I wasn't really that close with the control, I decided to stick to being the person that talks about it rather than does it. But nonetheless, hard luck, OJ, thanks for talking to us, and best of luck next time out.
Cheers, Scott.
OJ Clark there, and always just as we say that, Kavalowski goes for a triple pirouette with a twist, and he's lost 6th place to Keith Camilleri. So Kavalowski goes for a bit of a spin, and looks like he's not too dizzy from that. Now back up at the front, whilst we were talking about that and talking to OJ there, who unfortunately retired earlier on due to some kind of mysterious problem it seems with his connection. Kassa has now been closed on even further by Alex Cooper, and the gap is now down to 2.3 seconds. So Cooper definitely using the advantage of his fresher tyres to reduce the gap. He definitely is the quickest man out there on track, it seems, at the moment. Now, in terms of going back to what was happening between Parker and Skonowski, that's Parker trying to chase down 3rd place. Gap is still 4.5 seconds. So it seems to me that Skonowski and Parker are just trading blow for blow here in terms of the gaps. And the gap has gone back up to 3.1 seconds. So Kassa then to at least the strategy that he's on. Well, he's got about another lap to do it. So either he's going on a really long stint here, or he is actually deciding to try a no-stop strategy. If he is, it could be quite crucial, but we'll have to wait and see just how much Alex Cooper can close in, depending on the state of his tyres. Gap back down to 2.8 seconds, so he's found another quarter of a second in this sector alone. Absolute championship lead of 17 points. And he would extend his gap up to 20 if the positions are as they are at the moment. Or if they stay as they are until the finish. And interesting enough, that spin for Kavalowski hasn't affected him too much. He is still about half a second behind Camilleri, and looks like he's starting to close in bit by bit as well. So Camilleri with a great run so far for Water Blue Racing. Blue won a race earlier on this year with Andrew Morgan back in Canada. And Cassidy, ahead of Cassidy, is not going for one stop. He's gone for a very long one-stop strategy, and he has to relinquish the lead then finally to Alex Cooper. So now the question is, what can he do to hold on Skonowski? Skonowski only through out of the Audi S corners and now towards Kubo. Cassidy already left, so Cassidy covering second place looks like. So he come up, looks like, in fact, he knew that Cooper was going to win. He was looking to try and at least cement his second place, and that's exactly what he's done with that extended stint. And now he's the one on fresher tyres. He's got 10 laps to use them. The gap is 7.2 seconds. Now it looks like there's been a spin for Andres Pestov, who's just in front of the leader Alex Cooper now, who has now regained his first position at the head of the field. Going to the closing stages then of this Supercup Grand Prix. It's been fairly eventful. We've had one or two spins here and battles early on, but now as the race starts to settle down and get into its twilight period in terms of its length. Cooper then holding on for the moment, and a 17.9 second advantage over Kassa at the moment. Skonowski is a further 9 seconds back. And 13 seconds behind him now is Tom Parker. Possibly have a spin somewhere, or is has lost time behind some traffic. He's lost another 8 seconds or so to the Maltese driver in front of him. Walker's still fifth. Uphold the Hansi Racing team's honour after the car's engine expired. That's round 6 going on, and that's now between, again, Camilleri and Kowalski, and the Estonian definitely looking as though he has enough pace to keep up with Camilleri. Through the Audi F corners. I wonder if Kowalski then down the straight. He's got a slightly tinier exit than Camilleri through Kumo, onto the Aragon back straight, and Camilleri goes to the move slightly to the pit wall, try and throw Kowalski off his toe. Didn't quite do it. Still Kowalski homes in on 6th place then. Looking back, and any other driver that isn't on the lap yet is Royce Frozen, although that said probably going to happen in the next few laps as the next car behind him is in fact Wayne Ricky and Aaron Cooper. And Lossie got through. As we were saying that, as it's on the screen, it's changed and Lossie hasn't got through to 6th place. But Camilleri is definitely not in the mood to give it up that easy. And he, again, it's these long corners in fast corners as Camilleri gets a big twitch on the exit of Marlborough Corner and runs very wide through Renault. Seems to be on these long corners, you can pick your line through. You can either go wide and grab a late apex to get the better run, which seems to be the popular option. You can take a tighter run through the corner, which then it makes you slower on the apex, but then allows you to kind of get to it sooner, which then allows you to again get an earlier run on the throttle. And Camilleri a bit wide on the exit of Kumo corner, but he's trying his best to hold on with a gap that's slowly increasing now. It's up to already 1.2 seconds, so Lossie has pace at the moment to pull away. Way behind at the moment, Ryan Walker in 5th. Martin Bolden in the Soul Tiger Express car has just retired, unfortunately, as Lossie got locked up and went very deep into the Hugenholz corner. And Cassidy already starting to use in 2nd place his pressure tyres to pull the gap down to 16.6 seconds from 17.9, but I think it's too late. In fact, it's gone back up to 17.1, so he is in fact too late. Quick note on Lucas Euler, our Super League Championship leader, not champion just yet. But Alex Scotty Rowan to deal with that one. But Lucas Euler is up to 10th after his early collision with Columbus. Euler then, in his first Supercup race, doing extremely well to get the car into the top 10, and that is exactly what they need the second car to do. Martin Schumacher had a bit of a rough time in the past couple of races, had a very difficult race in Belgium, had an equally difficult race in Monza. Of course now, the second CSG car has once again had difficulties, but looks like he will still hold on to this place. Coming up then, as Cooper then starts lap number 40. And next time round we'll get the magical 5 laps to go. So let's see how they're shaken out now then in terms of finishes. Cooper now leads with now 16.5 seconds the gap. Over Kata in 2nd, Skrzydowski now 3rd, 6 seconds behind Kata. Passing the further 13 seconds back. In 4th, he's 10 seconds ahead of Walker in 5th. 6th place Blonowski looks like 15 seconds behind the Scot. And then we've got Camilleri a further 1.8, only 1.8 behind Blonowski. There's Stroess in 8th, and he's on the lead lap still holding on ahead of Cooper. And then we've got Morten Bernsen and Lucas Euler, the first, the other 2 cars in the top 10, and they are a lap down. They're in 9th and 10th respectively. So looking at the attrition rate of how many cars we've had out of the race, it's been actually a fairly hefty attrition rate. As we've also had Ihab Abbas has also retired from the race. Full list of retirements as they've gone from soonest to earliest. We've had let's see, we've had Ian Bassat with racing had also Dallas Clumbis, Simon Crane has retired, as has Martin Bolgan. Also OJ Clark, as we said, we talked to him earlier on. William Tringas out with suspension problems, Philip Collins injured expired. Also Wesley Morris is out with suspension, as was Chris Allen, and Whitby Hoekstra was out back on lap 3 due to a simple DNF. So Cuba has gone past and completed lap 40, we're now with 5 laps to go. We're going to come up to lap a few more cars. He's got Kenny Liebert to lap. Also he's going to still negotiate ahead of Scotia, but Scotia's actually doing very well to run. I suppose it's not similar, not the same pace as Cooper. I think Cooper's back slightly just to get the car home. 15 seconds ahead, and he just runs the same 90% on 8 tenths of the light. He can keep Castle Bay, whereas the Norwegian behind, of course, in second place, and we get absolutely on it from his one only pit stop. Now holding third, Marcus still closing in fourth. Cars left at 26 started. Terence Breck, 16th, takes a bit of a across the gravel. Cut the Audi SUK, in fact he pretty much had to. But he didn't get an advantage, he is back down the field. In fact, he's 4 laps down on the leader. As Castanar continues to slowly but surely just ever so slightly at that advantage Cooper, who we suspect is probably in fuel saving mode, probably just in kind of, if you like, safety get your home mode, and wants to keep 5 wins in a row. I'm sure the cameraman Dave Pufflick will be extremely pleased at that. It will mean that the gap only comes down by another 3 points to 14, but it still keeps coming down then, and it will still keep chipping away. I think possibly by the time this carries on, may see a case that we get to the last race and there'll be 1 point in it, I think. We should wait and see exactly what the outcome is. Lap 43 then, and Cooper getting down to 14.3 seconds, and Casa is still going like the clappers. Gap is now down to 14.1, so another couple of tenths of a second to take it out of the gap, but it's not going to be enough. Not hoping to put a commentator's curse on it, but Cooper seems to kind of cruise around these last 3 laps and just not make any silly mistakes, and he has got this one in the bag. I mean, like I said, 5th on the trot in the series so far. Clark is still 4th, but engine's still smoking. After watching this race, maybe rather hungry. I don't think any food yet for the evening, so definitely be going downstairs to venture into the fridges and the cupboards and try and find something to fuel my hunger, shall we say. But talking of hunger, Cat is still pretty hungry to close the gap as much as possible. Whilst Alex Cooper now is finally going to be able to, at least I would have thought so, hopefully lap where Scroton, indeed he does. Scroton pulls out of the way rather sensibly. That's good. That's good respectful driving from Scroton there in his first race back, and credit to him. Definitely a candidate for driving day in some cases. Died 20th, literally came back and logged into the server 5 minutes after he got back from his vacation. And just chucked on a setup he got from one of the other drivers, and here he is, picked 20 with Carnage, and he's up to 8th. And I think you have to say, credit where it's due, that is a good drive. He kept himself out of trouble as well. Oh no! No! As I've said that, I don't believe it! Oh, I'm so sorry, well that was commentator's curse. 8th place, Roy Straussen loses the back end of the car through Marlborough Corner, and I think he's actually jumped on the barriers. I think he's inside the track, and that is absolute disaster. He is behind the barriers, and that is absolute disaster. And that happened, oh, he's back on now, and that happened back in Monza. He was leading, and then all of a sudden his car jumped the barrier. Oh, he hit the barrier, the car was upside down, lost its front wing. And that is such heartbreak. He was on the 8th place for his Scrotum. Just we were talking about it. And the car's back on its wheels again. And he lets Skrynowski through to lap him. Oh, Roy, I'm so sorry. That was such a commentator's curse. He's still 9th, and he is... Well, Miles Dixon will come through and take 9th place. Euler's lost his front wing as well. Lucas Euler's lost his front wing as well. So it's all kicking off in the last couple of laps. So what is going on here? I wonder if our camera DCS can maybe go back and see what happened. We caught Roy Scrotum back in 8th place, but Euler's lost his front wing, and this afternoon his race hasn't been fantastic. But we'll come to that in a moment as we're now going to focus back on our leader. Exiting Vodafone corner, he now has 4 more turns to go. And he will make it, win number 5, make it his 5th victory in a row. And Paddy Muscat lost his front wing 4 laps ago. Thank you for that, Jason Muscat. He had to struggle round, but no struggling for this man. Alex Cooper then. This is gonna be a fantastic 5 then, round the final corner, and it is 5 in a row for Alex Cooper. Across the line he comes, takes victory here at the Dutch Supercup at Zandvoort. A wonderful display of driving, and look at that, race time under an hour, which is fantastic pace these guys are showing. Peter Cassett still championship leader, but he's lost another 3 points in his lead, but still 2nd place. A wonderful result for him. Now we wait for 3rd place Barrett Skrynowski. He will get onto the podium. And this is a fantastic result for Motorforce. They wanted points. They're going to get more than that. They're going to get points and a podium. And Skrynowski should be very happy with that. He's also contender for driver of the day. 4th place for Tom Parker. This is pretty much his only Super Cup race of the year. And Engine's still smoking. He should be very happy with 4th place. Across the line he comes. He could have got 3rd, but still as well. And Ryan Walker then, he's going to come around the couple of the corners to get 5th. I think he's standing in for, I believe, Bart de Vos, or maybe even Adam Rouse, but nonetheless, he should be very pleased with 5th. He moves towards the pit wall and takes the place. Pavlovsky will be 6th, and the rest of the field have all finished. That's good. That's good enough anyway. And the last car to finish will Keith Camilleri, 7th place, a creditable and respectable result. And across the line he goes, and there you have it. So that is everyone is now finished. And let's run you through then the final results then after this 45 lap race. Alex Cooper then is your winner with a race time of 58 minutes and 52.736 seconds. Get some interview then. So Alex Cooper wins then from Peter Casser in 2nd. Casser still will be ahead of the championship, but only by now 14 points instead of 17, as we said. He was 12 points 5 seconds back. Alex Cooper, 3rd match now, fantastic run for the Motorforce driver. 4th was Tom Parker, brilliant stuff from him to get the Innovision car onto the fringes of the podium. He possibly could have got a 3rd place had he not made these couple of mistakes. 5th was Ryan Walker, excuse me, for Halcyon. 6th was Pavlovsky then for Hawkeye. 7th Keith Camilleri. 8th is Morten Bernison. 9th Miles Dixon. And rounding out the top 10 after that cruel twist of luck. And I feel it was commentator's curse, I do apologise. Roy Scrotum still 10th after starting 20th. Rest of the field then. 11th was Lucas Euler, despite having to finish a lap down without a front wing, and in his first ever Super Cup race. 12th, Andres Pestovs, and 13th, Boyd Bryson. 14th, Kenny Liebeer. 15th, Mark Wicks. 16th, Terence Greck. And those are the finishes. And in order, the retirements from soonest to earliest were Ehab Abbas, Mindaugas Columbus, Simon Crane, Martin Bolgin, OJ Clark, William Tringus, Philip Cullen, Wesley Morris, and Chris Allen, and Wupke Hoekstra, who retired back on lap number 3. There we go, that's the race. Let's see if we've got anyone in the interview booth. We've got 3 drivers in there. We're going to have 1st, 2nd, and 4th. So let's bring them in here. We're going to have then, bring them in here now. So then, we don't have Marek Skonowski unfortunately, but we do have our winner for today, Alex Cooper for CSG, second place Peter Casa for Toronto Motorsports, and also just jumping in also for fourth place was Tom Parker for Innovision. Alex, let's start with you. Congratulations, that's your fifth victory in a row, and it looked to be as though it was another victory that you pretty much needed. You've taken a step closer to catching Petter in the championship. It looked like a relatively easy race, but were you worried for a moment when Petter stayed out for quite a long time, but you thought he may have gone for a no-stop strategy, or did you know that he was actually going to go ahead and make a late pit stop?
No, he scared me definitely. I was touching like coil laps every lap. I thought he was staying out, but thankfully he pitted and I could just cruise it for the last 10 or so laps.
Absolutely. It looked like, apart from having to try and catch Petter, obviously it seemed to be that it was a fairly trouble-free race for you. Obviously, the gap's now 14 points. It's now 5 wins in a row, as we said. Do you think essentially if you keep doing this to the end of the season, I think we mentioned this back in Spa as well, if you keep doing this to the end of the season, you've got a good chance of overtaking Petter, or do you think it's going to be a case of if Casa gets one more win and it just takes one bad weekend from either of you, that's going to really swing the championship one way or another?
Yeah, if one of us has a bad race, then it could go either way. I could take the lead, he could end up 29 in front, so I need to win every race really, because if Petter takes one more win, then it's in his hands pretty much to the end.
Also, just a quick comment on your teammate for tonight, of course, Super League champion, either Lucas Euler. Only finished 11th, and no, in fact, he finished 11th and had to finish a lap down without a front wing. You actually lapped him at one point. Do you think he was rather unlucky tonight, the fact he couldn't get higher up and help you out in terms of the points?
Yeah, I think so. I think he got hit on the first lap or something like that, but he didn't really get much testing in, so I don't think he's expecting much. But he had a decent quali, could have improved by a few tenths, I think. And he just had an unlucky race, really. Hopefully he pays up for it tomorrow.
Hopefully so. Well then, Alex, congratulations on your victory. It's 5 in a row, as we said, and hopefully you'll do more of the same in the next round. Let's move on to second place, Petter Casa then. Petter, I think a lot of us who are watching on, including us up in the commentary box, were thinking that at one point you were staying out for quite a long time. As Alex said, you even scared him. But it looks like you were possibly going to try a no-stop strategy. You eventually pitted with about 10 laps to go. Was the thought of a no-stop strategy ever in mind, or did you know that essentially the strategy was always going to be to run kind of a pit later on, or to try and capitalise on getting ahead of Marek in third place?
Actually, I was on a zero stopper, but the tires didn't last, so I could maybe push the tires 2-3 more laps, but didn't want to risk that in case of the car getting too unstable. So I had to pit for tires anyway, so there's not any reason to go any lower.
Alex also just said that essentially if you win another race and depending on whether or not Alex has a bad weekend or not, the championship's is effectively in your hands. Do you agree with that, or do you think it's still all to play for between you and Alex?
I don't think it's decided even if I get a victory. It's just one victory, maybe just a bad race, and it's still a few points between us only, so I think it will be pretty close to the at least two last races, maybe even to the last race.
Excellent stuff. And also you had Mindaugas Columbus as your teammate. It seems to have a pretty unlucky race weekend, which resulted in him having to DNF. Do you know exactly what the cause was, and also how did you rate his kind of performance and kind of as a supporting role towards you in the championship?
Actually, I haven't talked to him after the race, so I don't know what happened. I only know that he haven't driven the car for almost 2 weeks, I think, and he just got home, so it was just lucky to even have a teammate for this race.
Well, congratulations, Per, for second place. Of course, you're still leading the championship by now by 14 points, so best of luck for the next race. We haven't got Marek Skonowski, but we have got fourth place Tom Parker. Tom, you put in a pretty excellent performance. You're very quick in practice and qualifying and warm-up. You possibly even could have got onto the podium, but it looks like you had to fight for that fourth place out there today.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect to be racing today, but Pavel had a space, so I thought, okay, I'll take it. I love Zandvoort, so I thought, why not? Got to quali, didn't think I'd get fourth, but okay. And then I made a mistake whilst behind Cullen, and I dropped behind Ryan, and that basically screwed me over because I was much quicker than him, but my 6th gear was just completely wrong, so I couldn't get past him. Got past him though, but then I span again afterwards, and well, yeah, that cost me a podium. But I'm quite impressed with 4th, since I haven't driven these cars for what, 7 months.
Very decent effort. You did spend pretty much a lot of the second half of the race with your engine smoking. Were you aware that the engine was slightly overheating, or did you know that essentially you could keep it in the threshold to just get it to the end of the race?
I think to say I was scared was quite an understatement. I think I finished on a minus 106 engine percent, so yeah, I think it was 2 more laps and it had blown. It was very close.
Surprised you didn't even have an engine left by that time. I mean, it was in terms of Super Cup outings. Is this a one-off, or you hopefully you can maybe grab 1 or 2? Because of course you have to share driving duties, of course, with Woods Racing, of course, in Super League tomorrow night. So I mean, is this going to become maybe from now to the end of the season, or was it just going to be a one-off for tonight's race?
I think it's going to be a one-off. I mean, like I said, I love Zandvoort. I absolutely love Zandvoort. So I only raced because of the track, really. But looking at the rest of the races, can't see me doing any more. So maybe just a one-off. But it's nice to know that I was close-ish to the pace. So maybe if Innovision need me again, we'll see.
Good stuff. Well, congratulations on 4th place, and well done on the driving. Best of luck also tomorrow for the Super League. We've got Roy Scroton here again. Roy, you were 8th at one point until the end, and I have to apologise. I fear it was commentator's curse, but literally, we were talking about it on the broadcast, and all of a sudden you had that mistake. Was it just a case you just pushed a bit too hard?
Yeah, I tried to stay in the lead lap, but I made a small mistake. I went a bit too hard on the curbs, and I hit the wall and flew over it. So I thought that my race was finished, but with another crash I managed to get over the wall, and I could continue and could get 1 point.
Well, that's rather heartbreaking stuff that you dropped out of the top 10, but nevertheless you did qualify 20th, as you said, and then made your way back through the field up towards, I think there's a fairly high position, up to roughly about 6th or 7th at one point. So I mean, overall, would you say that would you say overall that despite the mistake in the last couple of laps, that the race was a decent one, despite the circumstances of you coming back from vacation?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the race. It was funny to see the grid from the back and see what happened there, because a lot happens in the back of the field, crashes and such. But it was fun. I managed to keep out of the problems and could get up to 6th at one point, but I had a 2-stopper, so I lost a bit of time there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The car was good, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next races.
Excellent stuff. Well, commiserations for missing out on what could have been 8th place, but well done for getting up to where you did, despite starting 20th. We don't have anyone else waiting, so we're going to wrap up the broadcast for you. Thank you very much for everyone who has tuned in and watched. Hopefully it has been entertaining for you. Of course, Alex Cooper takes another victory and takes a step closer to catching Peter Casa, but of course, Casa still leads the championship, but now only by 14 points. So, just quick thanks to, of course, to simrace.tv for allowing us to go ahead and launch the race. Also, hold on, got a TeamSpeak message as well. Oh, there we go. Sorry, it's just Roy saying that. Thanks to simrace.tv for allowing us to broadcast the race. Of course, thanks to Simic, who are our sponsors. Also to Sim Racing Online. So you got 1 point and Best Dutchman, so that's 2 times. At least he comes away with a victory on something, which is fantastic. And also just saying back to SimRace, I've forgotten that, SimSync Pro for allowing the drivers to get access to the mod, also to live races for our live timing, and of course to all of you guys who tune in and support us every week that we have racing. So from all of us here, it's been a GPVWC presentation. Next time you can catch the Super League, it will be Super Cup rather, it'll be in 2 weeks' time. And that is going to be the German Supercup Grand Prix from the Nürburgring. And of course we have action tomorrow night with the Super League. Of course Lucas Orlock will try and take 1 step closer to the Super League title, but of course his teammate Nick Rowland will still be in tow. And of course the likes of Dave Carl-Smith and such will be trying to close in and capitalise on any mistakes that those two may make. But for everyone here, thank you very much for watching tonight, and we'll see you next time. Until then, bye for now.